Hey stream team, is that good? I think that's good. Hey stream team, how are you? Welcome back. I changed the angle on this camera setup a little bit, so hopefully it's still giving what it needs to give. If not, I'm sure you'll tell me, right? You'll let me know. I'm talking about why it feels like our entire society is crashing out, and I think because it feels that way, I've been getting some requests. I've been getting some requests for content that is going to help people relax and stay calm in the middle of these crazy, crazy times that we are now living in. It really feels like it. Now, this crashing out term, I'm not sure who started it. If anyone knows, put it in the comment section, or if you're here live with me, put it in the chat. But for those that are uninitiated, crashing out basically means freaking out. They used to have, what is it? It used to be called, like, if you're on the road, it would be road rage. If you work for the post office, it would be, going postal. It's basically the feeling that, like, people have reached the end of the line, the end of their ropes. And it's palpable, and it's being experienced in every industry and in every corner of our society. People are losing it, and you can see it. It's very evident on social media platforms like TikTok, although I don't really watch much there. The content from there seems to filter out everywhere else, and you see so many instances of people in their cars, people in the break room of their workplaces, people in their front yards, literally losing it and just full on ranting about the state of their lives and the state of our society, and how much the two of those things, the state of their lives and the state of their society, are circling the drain. And I have an uncomfortable smile and a little bit of a chuckle, not because I think any of this is funny. I think it's more of like a nervous laughter, but I do feel like our society's at some sort of tipping point, and I'm not sure what happens next. Either there's drastic change, hopefully for the positive, that starts to alleviate some of what people are feeling, or we're in for a very, very bumpy ride. Lil Pippin, have been laminating. What do you mean laminating? You're gonna have to explain what that means, Lil Pippin. Well, thank you, Garth Shofman. Mr. Boogie, I'll accept that compliment, such as it is, although I will say it's on the line. I don't know if you would like for me to call you Mr. Cool Vanilla, but I'll take it. I think you meant it in a good spirit, so I'll accept it. But you're on my list. I'm watching you. Be careful, Mr. Boogie, be careful. Yes, thank you for being here. Have any of you crashed out? Have any of you felt like you're at the end of your rope for whatever reason? I think for a lot of people, it's economically motivated. This feeling of crashing out or being at the end of the line, or not being able to quote unquote take it anymore. I think some of that frustration is coming from a feeling of people are working more than ever and either having the same quality of life or having a diminished quality of life, despite the fact that they're working more. And there's many reasons for that. Some of the reasons for that are due to inflation. Some of the reasons are due to just unethical price hikes and gouges in housing costs. So there's all kinds of reasons for it, but the gist of it, the consensus is people are feeling the pain of the economy, and they're at the end of their rope, and they're crashing out all over social media. And the mainstream media isn't really reporting it, but those of us who have a little bit more of an ear to the ground, or who interact with any kind of community online, we're seeing it. Okay, Lil Pippin, being unemployed is the solution. How is it a solution, Richie? Because I think if you're in that state, you're probably going to be feeling the economic burn more than any other. And anyone who just jumped in here, I'm going to need you to press that like button, because the like button sends a message to the algorithm. A message we need sent. The message being, this channel is important, worthwhile, and a place to be, a good place to be. So press. Glyph the creator, chase your dreams, people, it's not too late. Yes, I mean, I will always advocate for people chasing their dreams, but they have to pay their bills while they're chasing their dreams. And so being able to just be quote unquote unemployed, as per Richie's suggestion, may not be the answer for many. I mean, unless they have a huge, nest egg built up, I wouldn't advise it. It sounds like a real recipe for a lot of pain and a lot of distress. Swag gamer, you know I love that compliment because she's, she is quite fabulous. However, I don't know if anyone else sees a resemblance, but I'll just take it. I think what you're sensing is we're both that girl, we're both glamorous. So on that note, I'll take it and high five. Thank you, Swag Gamer. I know you mean it in the best possible way. Although I'm sure she would cringe. Anyone else who's new here, I really need to see that like button increasing. I don't know why it's not. And I'm gonna jump myself into the stream as I go on more about this topic and why it feels like our entire society is crashing out and why it feels like every single person is at the end of their rope, either for economic reasons and also because I feel like it's not just economic, it's emotional. Because I feel like people aren't getting the emotional support they need. So they're financially strapped, but they're also not getting the emotional support they need because our society is kind of like unraveling. Like there aren't the same um, resources for people to have community, which is one of the reasons I started this nightly live stream so we can all vibe and hang out together so people from all over the world can come and commune together. And that's what goes on here. I have people from 70 different countries showing up every night to, vibe, hang out, and talk about what's going on. So one of the things that's going on is that there's the economic pressure and there's the emotional strain. How many people live, lives of quiet desperation, lives of very intense loneliness and isolation? Because as things become more automated and you have less interaction with people, even in the commercial sense, like whether you're going to a store to purchase something or you're eating in some kind of establishment, there's less human contact, and then there isn't a place of community. We don't have those third spaces, i.e. spaces that aren't your work and aren't your home and aren't commercial, like a park or a coffee shop that's like not requiring you to pay every hour. So we need spaces for people to gather and commune with each other, to just be there and support each other outside of commercial interests. That's what a third space is, and that's what I've tried to create here. So we're in our third space tonight, and we're going to talk about what you are seeing in the society. What makes you feel like you want to crash out? Like, is it just the economic pressure? Is it that you're feeling loneliness? You think a lot of us are feeling out of sorts due to the shutdown, the speeding up of the planet, and the polarizing of leaders on top of those items. Okay, fair enough. Arlen Dennison's back. Tim's app, salute right back at you, Tim's app. Yeah, I really think it's a combination of things. I think it's loneliness, it's economic pressure, and also I feel like there's a bit of a war of the sexes because people for the first time don't really know, what the roles are. The gender roles are kind of all being turned on their heads because women are, outpacing men in terms of getting higher education. Women are having much more of a dominant position in a lot of working scenarios. So there isn't that same dynamic of the nuclear family that once existed before. And while I think that's a good thing, I do think it leaves a lot of people kind of like on unsure footing about exactly how to relate to the opposite sex and what the new rules are. Yes, Garth. Garth's telling you what to do. It's time for y'all to press that like button. Like, really. It's free. Tonight it's free. So press it. And so when people crash out and when you see so many people in our society in such a state of, desperation and exasperation, there's a tension. There's a tension in the air. And people who come to this country who don't live here, like foreigners who are visiting, they all say that the tone of the U.S. has changed. When I talk to people who are tourists who come here from other lands, who maybe came here in the past, they say things feel really tense in the U.S. It feels really depressing there for the first time. There's a feeling that maybe some of the cities there are not safe any longer. And that's troubling and distressing, and it's not being addressed. So we have a crash out culture. We have a violent culture. We have a culture with a lot of gun owners, present company included. So it's a tense environment here. How are we going to alleviate all of this stress? How are we going to make it so that our society can heal and people can feel like they can get community and they're not as isolated? Cars says hello. What's up, Cars? So one of the things I've been getting requests for is to do ASMRs or POV videos, nothing explicit, just talking to people And I think this is an evidence of the fact that loneliness is at the heart of the issue. I had more than one person reach out to me in the last 48 hours saying, hey, will you do a video where you just talk to me? Or will you do a video where you just, you say something soothing, or will you do an ASMR for me? So I feel like people are really looking for human connection. People really want to feel heard, taken care of, nurtured. And at this point, they'll take it in any form they can get it, even virtually. So I think that's what's going on. There's all of this pressure, all of this strain, all of this uncertainty, and there's no community, and there really isn't even family in the way that there used to be. Things are so competitive now, and families are so fractured that most people feel like they're in this thing on their own, and they're trying to navigate it the best way they can. And some of the ways that they navigate it is through virtual means, which is why I did my AI Robot Girlfriend series. Because as AI improves and it continues to iterate in ways that allow it to be more responsive and more quote unquote human-like, I think we will see much more people relying on technology for intimacy, technology for comfort and nurturing. And although I'm very real, I'm being asked to create content, video content, which is technology, to serve that purpose, to create a video where I basically just give the kind of support and caring that a girlfriend would. So although my AI Girlfriend series, which you can find on the playlist on my channel, is a social commentary, it's becoming a reality because I'm being asked to kind of play that role in a virtual way for people, and I'm willing to do it. So that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. Like right now in my Stand Store, I offer coaching and consulting calls, but maybe I should add to the menu ASMRs and POV video. I bet I'm getting requests. Maybe I should add it. Let's see. What's this? You're here. Danny's here. Danny, you are one of the people that inspired me tonight. You already prayed for what? I stream every single night, Swag Gamer, every single night. And I've been doing it for over 300 nights in a row. I think I'm at around 320, and I'm not stopping. You're Rwanda. Well, thank you, B again. Love to see you here. You want to play? Well, I'm not looking for any slaves, so that's good. And if you want to play, you came to the right place. We are very playful in this stream. We're very high vibrational and playful. So you're in the right place, a grandmother. Yeah, I mean, I think it might help people temporarily, but sometimes temporarily is better than someone crashing out and doing something either violent or self-destructive. So I think I'm going to add that to my menu. I just need to figure out how to price it. I don't know. But I think it's valuable, and I think I'm going to do it. You prefer a humanoid robot, like a companion wife in the future, if it's possible. Okay, well, Swag Gamer, I think that's an interesting idea, but I think you're missing out on the value of human connection. I don't think any kind of technology will ever be able to truly give you the kind of actual support that you want. But having said that, maybe that's a good stand-in for a part of the time. I don't know. Danny! Absolutely, Danny. Danny, Danny, you inspired a whole new business model. I may have to add custom. Whoops, hold on. I may have to add a custom video to the Stand Store. So custom ASMR to the Stand Store. So yes, I'm definitely going to consider it. Not only am I going to consider it, Danny, you're helping me consider adding an entirely new product category. So thank you so much, Danny, because you weren't the only one who sent me a request like that in this last 48 hours. You're like the second request I got like that. Let me jump into the stream, because not only do I need to like Danny's lovely little super chat. Let me jump into the stream because muting that so I don't have an echo. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you, Danny. I appreciate you. Butterscotch Cookie, Mr. Ridley, how have you been? Good to see you. What? Grandmother told me your channel name is just a huge mouthful and very confusing, because you have grandmother conjures up an image of an elderly woman, and yet you are a male, propositioning me, and it's really disturbing. I'm gonna need you to change your channel name. I'm gonna need you to change you need to change it either to grandpa or like frisky grandpa. It's more like frisky grandpa, not grandma, because the content of your statements are not aligning with the name of your, of your profile pic. And thank you, Mr. Ridley always comes up with the best nicknames for me, so thank you. And Mr. Sanchez showed you guys how to get it popping in this stream. Okay, I'm all about community and giving positive vibes and having an open discussion with you guys, but also I'm about support and provision. And this channel needs support. And it's starting to blow up. Okay, I've been live streaming, like I said, for over 300 nights in a row. About a week ago, the algorithm found me. It found me, and it sent 300 people into my live stream all at once. And then I got 10,000 views, and things have been up ever since. But the way that we keep that momentum is two things need to happen. I need your cute little super chats. They stimulate the algo. I think that was the strategy that paid off for me. I think that's what got me my 300 participant live stream and subsequent 10,000K views on said live stream. So how about some cute little super chats? And then also, I need you to when you press that like button, it lets the algo know. It encourages the algo to send more people this content. Let's do that. Press, that one's free. And then, as I was telling my peeps last night, there's this new thing on YouTube called the hype button, HYPE. So if you're ever watching any of my videos on the playback and they are less than a week old, like if they're 6 days or less old or 7 days or less old, you can hype them, meaning you can make them go more viral. You can push the hype button and YouTube will send them to more people, okay? It's like you give them a nice little push of momentum. So anyone watching this sucker right here on the playback, you know you need to push that hype button. Scroll to the right till you find it. Push hype, yes. What up, Jib? Good to see you back. Richie, you can hype it once it goes into playback mode. So while it's live, you can't hype it, but as soon as I end the live becomes a video. And at that point, you can hype it. So hype it. Like the next day, you could hype it, or literally probably about 10 or 15 minutes after I stream it, you could hype it. You can't hype it while it's live. You have to wait. You have to wait a few minutes. I know the next day you could definitely hype it. Okay, grandmother, come back with a better name, because that name of yours, it's throwing me all off. It's throwing me all off. Where? Macedonia's in the building. I've had Macedonia here before, so it's not a 71st country. But I love it. We got Macedonia in here. Yeah. Also, I love how global my stream is. I love that I get Angola and Gambia and Macedonia all the time. Suad, what's up, Suad? Even though, of course, still the core group, I would say it's still about 65% USA because I'm in the USA, but the rest is global, baby. It's global. You're in a great place to be if you want to meet people from all over the world. Why, thank you, Quad. You did, Quad, Swad. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. I hope other people will be thank you, Richie. I hope other people will be inspired by Danny and, give me those cute little super chats. They mean a lot. All right, let me go ahead. I did not pin my donation gateways into the chat, so let me go ahead and do that. That Cash App and PayPal, do it right now. I'm gonna do it right now. So let me put those into the chat. That's what I was about to do when I got distracted. But yeah, I fear for our society. I fear for the fact that so many people feel so distressed, that so many people feel so lonely, and that we have, people like our little, the young man in here who said he wants a robot girlfriend. Now there is a series on my channel where I'm your AI robot girlfriend. It's called Made for You, and there's 2 episodes and more episodes to come. So that sort of gives you a virtual experience of it, and it kind of explores this issue because I feel like it's at the forefront. Because people are so lonely and people are so isolated that, they'll take any form of intimacy and connection and community that they can get, even if it's virtual. And that's what this place is. This is a virtual community for you to come to every single night. I'm here to host and to ask, how was your day? What's in your mind? Let's talk about what's going on in our culture. Let's examine the zeitgeist together. That's what goes on here in this stream. And also lots of good times and playfulness. And I used to play music all the time until they started like getting copyright crazy. Once my channel became monetized, every single a piece of music that I had licensed decided, oh, well, now I get a piece of your revenue. Now I get a piece. So I almost want to just start creating my own music, because otherwise the music licenses just all want to gank the revenue from your channel. It's grisly. Okay. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. Oh, I forgot to pin that to the top. That's where that belongs. It's pinned. Now it's pinned. So that's pinned. Thank you, EF. I saw you. Tony Montana's back. Say hello to his little friend. All right. So all I can say is I'm here for you guys. I'm here every single night so we can vibe and hang out together. I don't want you crashing out all over the internet. I don't want to see anybody from my stream team on TikTok having a rage moment, having a rage fest, or they start breaking things, or they start, crying in their cars online. I don't want that for you. I want you to come here and vibe with us so that we can all have a great time, okay? Yeah, that's what this is about. This is a place for us to all together on a nightly basis and talk about whatever's on your mind, what's going on. I very often talk about trending topics because I feel like that's a common ground place to begin, but inevitably the stream turns into whatever we all decide it's going to be. So if there's a topic that you feel like I should be exploring with you tonight, let me know and we can get into it. Send me a little super chat. It can be a cute little one saying, hey, I want to talk about this, and we can address it. We can address it. Now let's see. The thing that I think, one of the main things, like I said, that has people quote unquote crashing out or feeling disturbed or feeling distressed is the fact that there's no community connection, and there's also this war of the sexes. Men and women we don't have the same common ground anymore. I think one of the things that changed that was huge is that women don't necessarily feel the same way about marriage that they once did, because now that women are earners and educating themselves and capable very often of making the same and sometimes even more money than their male counterparts, the game has changed. And so marriage seems unappealing because, marriage for a lot of women have what's called a second shift, where like you do your full job and then here comes the second shift where you come home and you're going to be cooking and cleaning and doing all these other things, because there is still this expectation on the part of many men that the woman, is in charge of the domestic domain in terms of all of its maintenance and ancillary jobs. So that part of the deal between men and women needs to be renegotiated, obviously. Lonely old cat lady. I do not have any pets. No pets and no kids over here. I'm just free and single, and I employ other people to help out with household maintenance. So I definitely have someone come and do cleaning for me periodically. So no, there's no financial need for, well, it depends, Richie. Obviously 2 incomes are better than 1 in some instances, but most women don't feel like they want to go 50-50. I certainly would not. Like that, it sort of defeats the whole purpose, because the man is supposed to protect and provide. And once you're sharing everything together, at that point you kind of have a roommate and not a partner. So that's a real thing. That's a real thing. I think men have to put on their capes in the sense that they need to become their highest and best selves in order to be the kind of man that today's woman wants. What worked before, just being able to be employed and sort of like provide a basic living, that's not going to cut it anymore. And I think a lot of men crash out over that because they sort of went through life assuming that just by doing the basics and the bare minimum, they were going to be able to have a home and a family and wife. And that simply is not going to cut it anymore, because most women are able to provide that for themselves. So if you want to attract a female, you're going to have to be able to offer her more than what she could achieve on her own. And so the bar is much higher for men. And some men rise to the occasion and become more ambitious and conquer and succeed and have a lot of options. And a lot more men buck down and say, you know what? I don't want to do all that. I'll just stay home and play video games and, look for virtual amusement to keep myself busy. So it's, I think that's what's happening. Okay, Daniel, if you're going to be all, if you're going to be really vulgar like that, I'm gonna need you to compensate my channel because, you know, that's just a little too vulgar. So I'm gonna remove that because that's a little vulgar. I require you to be a little more gentlemanly in my stream. Be a little bit more respectful. You can say things, we can flirt, we can be a little naughty, we can even be a little sassy, but we're gonna also be, you know, classy about it, okay? We're gonna be respectful, we're gonna, you know, we're gonna be a little higher brow. Keep it up a notch. We're not gonna let this just become a complete degenerate fest, okay? Keep your language together. Is to provide emotional support and, you know, the physical stuff. Well, that's the thing, Richie, the physical stuff, I'm gonna put this as delicately and diplomatically as I can. Many women feel like the physical stuff that men were once providing, many women feel like men are just inadequate at that because they choose to be inadequate at it. They don't really take the time to learn what works for women in terms of the finish line is concerned. And so a lot of women turn to technology to satisfy their needs in that way. They turn to bobs. Raise your hand if you know what a bob is. A lot of women turn to bobs, B-O-B. Does anyone know what that acronym stands for? Well, I think, I've been in the bin, IBN. Why don't we remove that? Because it's negative. You can't come into someone's stream and just start insulting them the same way you can't come into their home and start insulting them, because if you do, what's going to happen? You're going to get booted out. So I had to boot out your comment, but I let you stay. You'll get another chance. And if you act out again like that, you'll just be banned from the channel. I give a little bit of grace some days when I'm feeling, you know, kind and gracious. Other days, I just shut you down and you'll get banished from the channel immediately. So be kind and generous to the host here or be banished. Okay, Richie's asking me, what's a BOB? BOB stands for battery operated boyfriend. And many women feel like in the pleasure department, that is a much more reliable and much more healthy route to go, because there's no risk of communicable illnesses, and there's no possibility of mission failure, if you know what I'm saying. Let's see, I'm gonna have to watch this. Okay, Danny, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And I get it. I may start, you know, doing some custom ASMRs. We'll see what goes on with that. But I got you, Danny. I will get back to you for sure. And thank you for being here. And when you watch the rest of this on the playback, Danny, hit the hype button. Well, Tony, if you feel love, if your heart is bursting with love, then you could super chat. Okay, that's how you show love to this channel. And the bar for super chatting is very low. And I have to train you guys to super chat, because as this stream gets more busy, since the algo has seen me now, since it sent me 300 people in my live stream on Saturday, things are gonna get a little busier around here. Some of you are spoiled. Some of you are spoiled getting my attention without super chatting. And I gotta break you with that habit. It's time to start super chatting, even if it's a cute little one. Not because it's gonna enrich me, we know the bar for super chatting is quite low, but because it stimulates the algo to send more people to this channel, and I need that. This channel needs boosting. The more it gets boosted, the more sponsor opportunities the channel gets, and that way the more product benefits I can offer you guys. Like, I have a online betting company that wants to do a deal, maybe to like have me offer you guys some stuff. And maybe I could get like a meal delivery company to offer some stuff, you know, as we get this channel popping more. So guys, super chat, it works. It's how I stimulate the algo. Get into it. We can test drive it tonight. We shall see. Okay, yes, Danny, we could test, we could try it. We'll see. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate you. Do many women use that? Yeah. Well, Richie, there's a huge market for it. It's a huge industry. And yes, a lot of women do use bobs or battery operated boyfriends. And I see lots of women's channels have, you know, they have merchandise deals or sponsorship deals with these companies that sell those products. So as much as men are talking about robot girlfriends, women are talking about robot boyfriends. That robot door swings both ways, guys. So don't forget it. As much as you think you're gonna replace women with like bots, the women are ready to replace you guys with bots too. In fact, many of them already have, or at least they've replaced one part of your body with bots. So that's going on already. So I think that's partly why, that's partly why men are crashing out as well, because there's a feeling of like the one thing that I think a lot of them take a little pride in or feel like, well, there's one thing you need from me, lady. Not anymore, sir. Not anymore. Technology has stepped in that lane too. So for a man to really deliver in that regard, he's gonna have to do his research, do his homework, find out what women really like, and hone his technique. Okay, like gone are the days when men can just rest on their laurels and think just showing up is enough. No, you gotta have skills, son. You have to do some research. Okay, Danny, we shall see. Danny wants an ASMR. You want an ASMR. I got you, Danny. I get you. I get you. You're about to cash out right now. Why, Richie? Why are you going to cash out? Fix it? How do you want it fixed? Everyone else seems to like it. Why don't you just keep scrolling, IBN? That way you can find someone who has the cosmetics that you like. Okay, let's see. Robbie Ricky. I don't know. Let's see you change mine with a super chat, Bobby. Let's see that. A cute little super chat to support this channel. If you're going to be saying, these like slightly thinly veiled little sexual innuendos, thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. Danny gets it. Danny knows all he needs to do is super chat, and then I'll say his name. Thank you, Danny. Okay, so in all fairness, none. They're genetic. They're just like my mama's, Kevin. Kevin, if you're gonna like say something like that to a woman you've never met before, a complete stranger, if you're gonna hurl that kind of like aggressive, accusatory, slightly defamatory statement in a stranger's direction, don't you think you should make it up to her with some kind of remuneration, i.e. a super chat, super sticker, super thanks, something? Like, sir, be a gentleman in my stream. Oh, really? I can show you a picture of my mom's from back in the day, and I assure you there's nothing artificial going on. But, some people don't understand that women with certain West African DNA have full lips. Other women, namely like Caucasian women and others, may have to purchase it, but we get these naturally. It happened. I used to get made fun of for this, and now women pay for this. So it's kind of ironic. No, it's not over for real physical connection. I think it's just that what's going to happen is real physical connection is going to become something for the elite, in the sense that only men that are really, really enfranchised are going to be able to do it. Newton's back. Yes. I'll take these two providers. I would take a stream with just Newton and Danny over a stream with a bunch of others who just want to stand on the sidelines. Newton and Danny know what's up. They come in here and they gift my channel, and I appreciate them. Can I just get a stream full of providers? I'd rather have like 5 providers in my stream who like are benefactors than have 500 that are not. So over for real physical connection. No, I think that's what's going to happen. Like, men who are at an elite level are going to be able to get real, actual women and real, actual physical contact. And I think all men who aren't at that elite level are probably going to have to use some form of technology, be it a robot or a virtual assistant, something else to fulfill their intimacy needs. Because I think, although men seem to think they're going to replace women, I don't think so. I think real connection with real women is going to become really harder and harder to get, meaning it's going to be in greater and greater demand, meaning it's going to be the realm of, the top 1%. Danny's melting over there. I don't know about deserves, because deserves is a tough word, because definitely not. Everyone does not deserve it. Because you're basically trying to imply that every man deserves a woman, and that's simply not true. Some people's character is such that they don't deserve to have a loving, caring partner. And it's not a human right. It just isn't. You have to make yourself worthy of that, and you have to do what you need to do to court and pursue someone and convince you to give them, give you their time. So I think there's a sense of entitlement that you're giving voice to, Richie, when you say everyone deserves that. It's not, it's not a basic need. You can live without it. You only need food, shelter, and water. And so, no, you can live, but, and you don't have a right to a female. You have to earn that right. And in every other species of animal, you know, men compete for access to women. And only one man in a group will be able to access the females after he defeats all the others. So you're gonna have to be that guy. It's really time for men to step up and get heroic. Only the very best will be able to interact with the real ladies. Brain chemical stuff, it kind of is right because you can't get rid of stuff. I mean, you can have the desire for it, but that desire may not get met. We all want things in the world that we won't get. There's plenty of things that we see that we just are not going to have. Everyone isn't going to have everything that they see that they desire. That's just not how it works. I mean, I guess it's sad, but I think it's a challenge. You have to decide if you're going to rise to the occasion or not. Every game has a loser. Every competition has people who are defeated. So if you want to be the victor, and to the victor go the spoils, you're going to have to do what it requires. And those who can't meet the standard or are unwilling to do what is required will not get what they want. And that's just, that's nature. In nature, everyone doesn't win. In nature, some are predators and some are prey. That's just the way nature works. Women don't fight over you, Jeremy. They fight over your resources. And those women are probably women with very low self-esteem, because women should never be fighting over a man. So I think you need to, improve the caliber of women that you're dealing with, because women of quality are never going to put themselves in a position where they're fighting over a man. That goes against nature. That's not how it works. The cat does not chase the dog. Women do not fight over men. Men fight over women. Look at all the other mammalian species. Sean T, I'm not sure who raised you. Obviously, I want to believe that your parents tried to make you a gentleman, tried to make you someone who knows how to conduct themselves in a public forum like this. But if they failed you, I feel for you. If they did not fail you, and you just simply on your own decided to, buck down and get into your lower nature, well then, I'm going to ask you to step up your game, sir. Step it up. You can evolve. My stream is for gentlemen. You can be flirty, you can be fun, you can be playful, you can even be a little sexy, but you're gonna have to do it in a way that's a little bit more refined and a little bit more respectful to the host. So if you want to give me a genuine compliment, please do. The female anatomy is very beautiful. Décolletage and cleavage are certainly lovely, but that little rack phrase, that phrase you use, that's just not coming correct. You can do better. Try it. La 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 la. No, Oreo, I'm single. You're Emma. I don't know what Jeremy's saying. Humans are animals. Yes, we certainly are. Yeah, but see, Kevin, when someone gives you a compliment that way, it's not a compliment because it's disrespectful. They're objectifying you in a way that isn't very respectful. It's a crude type of objectification that doesn't really honor you. So it's not really a compliment. It's like a backhanded compliment. It's a compliment and an insult at the same time. It's a tricky little business. He knew exactly what he was doing. He would never compliment a woman he had respect for in that way. If my brother and father were on either side of me, would he compliment me that way? I don't think so. La 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 la. So yeah, when you give a woman a compliment, give her the kind of compliment that you would have no problem saying if her brother and father were sitting next to her. Yeah, that's a real compliment. Thank you. Please and thank you. Now, there we go. So this is why you guys are crashing out, because I think the internet has really diminished social skills for a lot of people, and the internet has taken away a lot of consequences that men need in order to correct their behavior. See that gentleman who came in here giving his so-called compliment? He's probably doing that all over the internet on a keyboard. But in real life, if you do that, you can't go up to a woman you've never met before and say something like that. You'll get your face slapped. You'll get a little social ostracism or, shame, as you should, because it's disrespectful. It's inherently disrespectful. Oh, you think so, Oreo? Okay. Who sounds like a great guy, Kevin? It's not your delivery. It's just that phrase. It's not respectful. Yeah. Yes, but see, the internet is what we make it. It doesn't have to be some place for degeneracy, disrespect, crashing out, complete, just like graphic violence and sexual degradation. It does not need to be that. The internet is what we make it. If we as citizens, if we as a society decide it's going to be a much more higher minded or much more healthy place, it will be that. So each one of us decides what it's going to be. And my little corner of the internet is not going to be foul and funky like that. If that's what you're looking for, you know where to go. You know where you've been. You can go back over there. And I'm going to need some like button presses because what are we doing? Do I have to offer like prizes? Usually, in order to get the like button up, I needed to get to 50. So, in order to get it up to 50, I will stand and do a 360. I will give you a deeper valley, whatever we need to do, but I need to get it up to 50. So, let's go. Like, usually, if I offer to do some sort of like dancing or something once we get to 50, so I will give you something to stimulate and appeal to the male gaze if we can get those likes up to 50. Let's see it. Do I 5 cent? I don't know what that means. 5 cent. Yes. See how I have to motivate you guys? Whenever it's the male psychology. If you want a man to do something, you have to appeal to his lower nature. I have to be like, yeah, if you guys get it up to 50, I'll do something for you. So now, is that gonna work? Like, what do I have to, let's go. Support the channel. Okay. The internet controls us. All creators talk with the same dilemma until they learn to try to ignore it. No, that's not true. It does not control us because we could all walk away from it. We could all just, close our laptops, or we could all say for the next 5 minutes, close off, shut your phone down, close off the technology. As soon as you decide that it controls you, then it does. It sounds, Devin, like you've got an addiction. You've got an addiction to your phone and to the technology where you feel like it's controlling you. I certainly don't feel that way. I take days off, and I recommend that everyone do that. You need to do media fast. You need to have phone breaks. You need to step away. Okay, when people say touch grass, I mean, it's kind of a hackneyed phrase at this point, but there is some value to that. You need to be able to step away from the technology to remind, society and yourself that you are in control. There was a time when people would just read books. You can go for weeks and months without being on the internet. I've done it before and I will do it again. And I encourage you at least try it. When's the last time you went a day without being on your phone or on the web, Devin? It sounds like you need to check in with that and get back in touch with reality. Calling a woman's breast or her décolletage milkers, Bohan, is ridiculous. I have no children. I am no one's mother. So let's remove your little vile bit of, phrasing there. That's just tacky. It's tacky. Like, why do you want to be tacky? Why be tacky? You could say something playful, sexy, flirty, and playful and fun, but instead you come in here with that nastiness and Raid. Again, who raised you, Raid? I'm sure your mother's somewhere crying too. Step it up. I want you guys to be a little bit more creative with your compliments. Like, don't just buck down. Give some fun compliments. Work on it. Let's show me a little sophistication. What if work entails phone calls? That's fine, but phone calls don't mean you have to be on the web necessarily. No, you cannot, Jeremy. No, you cannot. Unless you're trying to like hire me for something. You're natural, Dylan. It's so weird. Like everyone is so assumes that everything is false. It's like, I have like some African genetics. We have high cheekbones and really full lips naturally. So genetics are a thing, people. Everything you see isn't artifice. Like, I get that it's hard to tell. I get that like we're in this realm where like no one knows what's real and what is not. Firstly, I say, does it really matter? Like, it's really nobody else's business what a complete stranger does or doesn't do to their bodies. However, I would encourage you to leave the door open to the fact that there are people who have all kinds of features naturally. And now we live in a time when other people can buy those features, yes, but just because someone has a certain feature doesn't mean that it's fake. Full lips exist, especially for African people with any kind of African genetics. Kevin, that is just a rude question. Would you ask? See, here's what you guys have to think about. If you saw me in person, would you have the nerve to come up to me and ask me that? Like, it's rude. It's just as rude. Okay. I see what you did there, Richie. Richie, you get an A for effort, Richie. I appreciate you. So it hasn't graded the internet. Yes, you have to get back, but taking those days off from the internet are really important, Devin. It's really important to, um, deal with reality, a direct relationship with reality, and dealing with real people in person so that you don't forget social etiquette and social grace. You can't just go up to a stranger woman and start inquiring about her body parts or start inquiring about, or examining her in these ways. Like, I think if you held yourself to the same standard on the web that you would in person, you would be a lot better off, and society would be a lot better off. It says a lot that people want to use the internet as this place to, like, basically crash out, rage out, be disgusting, be vulgar, be rude, be misogynistic. It's like you have to, like, hold yourself back from it in real life. So then when you get on the internet, you're like, yeah, now I can be my demonic self. It's like, why is there this demon lurking inside of you that you just can't wait to release online? What is going on internally? It sounds like you have issues you need to address. I wouldn't, but if you call me beautiful in the stream, I'm just gonna say thank you the same way I would in person. But if you say something really like rack or one of these other, like, just tacky phrases in person, then I'm not gonna be kind. I know, Cheech, thank you. But Cheech, I believe in practical expressions of love. Okay, love is a verb. And for me, that verb involves super chatting, super thanks, super stickering, and pushing the like button. And you're not gonna get a 360 or a yoga pose or anything else until we get that like button up around 50. So, and there's enough people here right now to do it. If everyone here pressed on the like button, you'd be up around 50, and I would do something. I would do something to give you more something. Skin, 360, something. Because I know that's what motivates you. Okay. What are you saying? Sharing controlment and it didn't work still. Oh, it'll work, William. I've had it work before. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like on Saturday night, it really worked, and I had like 10,000 views. I mean, it just depends on the people that are here. Also, I get people from a lot of different countries and a lot of people speaking other languages. So it works to some degree. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But I always run different psychological experiments, and very often it does work. So I'm surprised it hasn't. It usually does. This must be your first time here. I don't know, Jeremy. I have all kinds of ideas about how it should be used, but I think there needs to be a basic code of conduct. Oh boy. Any man who's using the word simp just has to go. It just has to go. I gotta remove that phrase because it's negative. Men who use the word simp are either traumatized by women, they were abused by women as a child in some way, either their mother or some other woman, or they were rejected during puberty by some woman and it made an impression on their psyche that they can't get over, and so now they hate women, or they don't have any material resources, i.e. they're poor or they're economically disenfranchised, so they can't afford to court women or provide for women. So when they see other men courting and providing for women and treating women well, it just makes them angry. And so they came up with some negative derogatory word for women who actually are kind, loving, respectful, and generous with women. Men should be kind, loving, respectful, and generous with women because women gave birth to men. Women raise men. Women are the pillars of society. Men evolve and step up in order to be able to spend time with women. So this idea that if you are kind or generous or good to a woman, that you should be criticized or denigrated or have some, insult hurled at you, that's incel talk. And so that man just really let us all know that he does not get access to women. Thank you, Gianmarco. Oh, Raid. Only if you wrote me a big check or you gave me a big, huge Cash App and PayPal. That's the only way you're going to be getting oh yeses out of me. You could donate to my channel. That's one way you could get an oh yes. No problem, Richie. I appreciate your like button press. And any video or live stream of mine that you catch on the playback and it's in video form, hit the hype button. That's another way to contribute that is free. And I know, Richie, it sounds like you have good relationships with your female relatives and you're not traumatized by women, so you have no problem supporting females and being positive, Richie. So I know that once you get your bag, once you get your paper together, you'll be back. You'll be back to become a channel member and to give me cute super chats. Appreciate you. Should do it. Jeremy, you can recover. You can heal. You have to get to the bottom of why the relationship ended. Did it end because of your actions? You have to be really honest with yourself, and that can be very painful. You have to be really honest and say, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is how I can change, and grow and improve and be better. I think every adult has had some kind of relationship where things just didn't go well, but they were able to, reflect, grow. Often some people can't evolve, but you can if you decide that it's important to you and you make it a priority, and you can correct whatever mistakes you made or learn the lessons you need to learn from the failed relationship and move on and try again. That's what we're all supposed to do. You don't let it haunt you forever. You don't let it make you bitter. You grow from it, and then you get back on the horse and try again. Exactly. Thank you. Tafadzwa. Wow, your name is so hard to say. Tafadzwa Mazini. Where are you from, Tafadzwa? I'm curious. Well, tonight, Cheech, I was talking about how it seems like everyone in our society is crashing out. Like people are at their wits' end. People are not doing well. People are struggling both economically, emotionally, because of social isolation, and because there's this new uncharted territory between men and women, and the old rules just don't seem to make sense anymore. So there's this feeling of like our entire society is kind of on edge, and everyone's very hair trigger, and it feels there's a tension. And I want to talk about that tension. And I want to talk about ways people are seeking to relieve it, because I've had requests from people in the last 48 hours. I've had multiple requests from people asking me to do a personal ASMR for them, or do a video where I just talk to them, things like that. So it's showing me how lonely and how in need of community and nurturing people really are. And I want to feel that need. So I may add to my stand store. Anyone who hasn't been to my stand store, check it out. But I already offer audio and video calls, and I'm thinking of offering customized ASMRs or customized videos on my channel. Where I just talk, where I'm just offering nurturing support, because people have been requesting it and they want it. And I see this as a sign of the times and as a reflection of how, isolated many feel. Yes, Justin, people are barely hanging on, and you sense it. And it is by design, Stuart Murphy, very astute. Absolutely. It's intentional. It seems like it's a reaction, after that post-COVID little moment where the proletariat had a little tiny bit of power, where, remote work was seeming to have been widely adopted. People had choices. The wages inched up just a tiny bit. And that little tiny little minuscule amount of progress and growth for the worker has been smacked down and punished, viciously punished. And it's kind of ironic, because all of the people who have the most in this society and who are already in the most advantaged position and are benefiting so much, they're just insatiable in their need to dominate and to conquer, so much so that they want more. They want to press down even harder. And the irony is that their last bit of pressing down may be what causes the entire thing to shatter. The entire social structure is on the verge of shattering. And you would think if you were riding at the top of the pyramid, you would want to keep the pyramid solid so you could continue riding high. But that seems to not be the case. There's some sort of sickness at the very top of this pyramid, whereby the people there, they're insatiable. They can never get enough. And so inevitably they will crash the entire pyramid. And we're feeling that pressure. We're feeling the pressure of their insatiable greed. And greed not just for material wealth, but for power. Of death and everything around the subject is the humanity, spirit, crime, or faith. Perhaps, Devin, but I don't know if that's the case. I feel like it's economic pressure. It's a feeling of most people are not super ambitious. Most people, if they can live a comfortable life and just by working a basic job and they're able to have most of the things that they like to live comfortably, they'll go on. They will run the social program. They're okay with it. But what's happening is people, they aren't even getting the basics. Because so now people who would have been more than happy to just run the societal program, not too ambitious, not too revolutionary, they are working their butts off at multiple jobs and still struggling. And that's when the crash out happens. Because now just being the little good worker bee, that won't even get you fed anymore. That's when the social fabric starts to unravel, and that's what's happening. Pet ads pop up when you watch what? Okay, oh, okay, so you guys are talking to each other. You guys mention each other, so I know you're not talking to me. Hello, Antonio. Antonio, why don't you send me a cute little demonstration of how much you appreciate the channel? I'm getting all kinds of messages. You're back, Danny? What are you looking up right now? You guys are having some kind of like competition with each other, I guess. Wow, some guy is like just this is funny. Some guy is just leaving like vulgar comments. Wow. Yeah, let's get him out of there. There it is. Wow. Wow. Hilarious. Okay. What's happening? Some in this chat are part of the problem. For sure. Absolutely. Some people in this chat are definitely part of the problem. Always. You know, the lowest common denominator always expresses itself, right? And for a lot of men, especially men that aren't accustomed to being around women or weren't ever properly socialized in person, they honestly don't know how to conduct themselves. Some don't know any better, and some feel like the internet is their sort of like a pig pen. It's where they get to go and just be as lewd and crude and vile as they'd like to be, and they feel like the anonymity protects them, and so their true nasty nature comes out. They pretend to be a good guy, you know, in front of their parents and their partners or their children or at work, but once they get on the internet alone, haha, those horns sprout and they show the world who they really are. So some men, you know, this is their demonic moment. The internet is where they get to, you know, just show their bootay. What are you talking about? Who is, people were sending, yes, people have sent me messages. Yes, the internet brings out, for a lot of people, it brings out their lower nature, and I get that. Showing a four loco, I don't know what that means. Thoughts on Swift and Kels? Okay, Nico, I was gonna do a whole video. Maybe, you know what, tomorrow's live stream, I will go into it more, but my thought is that, yeah, I'll make tomorrow's live stream all about it, but I really think he's juicing her. Like I did a live stream back when I found out that she was going on his podcast where I said, wow, he's such an opportunist, and I'm not criticizing, I'm not judging one side or the other, I'm just observing and seeing, telling you what I see. I see a man who is a ruthless opportunist and who sees her as this, you know, she's a prize in the sense that she has fabulous wealth and fame, and he wants to exploit her for all of it. He wants to basically, you know, take as much of her wealth and fame as he can get from her. And that's what he's doing. He's using her ruthlessly. I don't see it as anything of love. I see it as an extraction. He's extracting from her, and he's going to drain her. And I think her overall quality of life and energy level will be diminished, and his will increase. So I think what you're going to see is a siphoning. You're going to see, it's almost like, I don't want to get woo-woo or metaphysical, but I see him extracting her energy and life force and essence from her over time. That's what I see. Yeah, here you go. What are you saying, Shanti? Why do I see it that way? Because I don't think he has any genuine connection to her. I think he's playing a part. He saw an opportunity. She's very vulnerable in the sense that she's led a very sheltered life. She's not savvy or streetwise or wise. You know, she's very empowered, but very unwise. So she's a perfect target. And he read her like a book. He knew exactly what kind of romance she wanted, and he gave it to her. He saw it. He just as the way some women can size up a man and say, "Oh, I'm his type physically. He likes this look. So if I'm this look and I say these things, I can get him and I can use him." I think he sized her up and said, "Oh, she's sheltered. She probably has never had anyone really put it on her, if you know what I'm saying." So he was like, "I'm going to put it on her. I'm going to tell her all the things she wants to hear. I'm going to give her her perfect little storybook romance, and she's going to give me all the wealth and fame I want." And he's going to take it from her. And although I won't go so far as to say he's her Kevin Federline, but kinda, like, in a much more less destructive way, because she's a much more solid person. Like, she's not a Britney Spears where she's unstable, or she's she's much more in control of herself and her life and her career, so she's not as vulnerable to like a complete collapse the way Spears was. But she's definitely vulnerable to, having someone vampire her, having someone suck her dry, in the sense of like just use her. And so I think she's going to get used. And I think he is someone who I see him as being obviously much more like sexually experienced than her, and probably much more in a bedroom situation. I see with someone like her, given who his previous partners were, he can be really physically dominant in a way that she's probably never experienced. And for someone like her, that could be very overwhelming and compelling. So to put it in layman's, into simple terms, she's stigmatized, quite frankly, and he's gonna milk it for all she's worth, and she's worth a lot. She's one of the most famous people in the world. She's probably worth, 10 figures at this point. He hit the mother lode. He hit the jackpot, and he's gonna have a really, really lucrative ride. He holds his own, Nico, but not relative to her. There's levels to this game. And while he is a successful athlete and he makes a good amount of money, she's on a whole other level. She's got zeros on him, multiple zeros on him, in terms of her reach and her fame and her wealth. So he hit the jackpot in every regard. Yeah. No, it's not just about size, it's about psychology. He is at heart, I think he has some misogynistic tendencies. I think I don't think he has a lot of respect. I think he feels superior to all women. Some men feel superior, and their misogyny is rooted in their feeling of superiority. And I think he's one of those people. I'm not saying he hates her or has anything against her, but he feels superior. And on some level, he probably feels some resentment that she's wealthier and more empowered than him, and she's a woman. How dare she? So on some level, every physical encounter is him reminding her that despite the fact that she's more famous and that she has more money, he's the man. And that dynamic is one that they're both enjoying. At some point, probably after she's pregnant, probably maybe after she's had some children, there'll be some fallout. It won't last forever. They'll have a run. They'll probably marry. There'll probably be at least one or two offspring before it ends. Well, Tony, let's see a generous demonstration from you that would make me even consider such a thing. How can you make that kind of prediction before you've even sent me a Cash App or Super Chat or a PayPal? You see all my payment gateways and you have not gotten into any of them. How do you expect me to take you seriously? I don't take anything you guys say seriously, because you'll say anything. You guys like to talk, especially when you're trying to impress each other. When you want to impress me and you want me to take you seriously, crack open that wallet, because that's what you don't take lightly. That's what you don't do often or take lightly. It's hard to get those wallets open, but it's easy to get you guys to start yapping, especially with the flattery and the talk of what you're gonna do and the money you might spend. But let's see it. Let's see even a super chat. Let's just see it. Otherwise, we know you're just full of hot air. So I believe nothing but money. I believe nothing but money. because that's what you guys care about. Your money is like your, it's your ego. It's your ego jackpot. And like, if you're willing to, if you're willing to crack open the wallet, it means you're actually transferring some value. It sure does. Danny knows me well, as it should, because it's a proxy for power. Empower me, make my life easier, help my channel grow. That's how you make an impression around here. Hyperdoza, you can keep it because you won't be getting that out of me. I do bikini content here on YouTube for my members only videos. So if you're interested in my bikini content, you can get into that. But that's as skimpy as it gets around here. The thong bikini is as skimpy as it gets around here. And if that is not going to suffice for you, Hyperdoza, I'll just take your watch time, sir. I'll just take your watch time. La 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 la. Well, it does in this society, Jeremy. It gives you power. Power to make your dreams come true, power to travel, power to help other people. It's a proxy for power. And so what it means is what you do with it. It's just a resource that you can then use to do things in the world. Kevin, he'll never go broke because when you interact and give to the divine feminine, your power grows. Real wealthy men know that they understand that if you choose women and you give to the right women, they make you more powerful in the eyes of other men, and they help you be a greater conqueror. So you'll just get more. With the right woman, your money gets multiplied. She's an investment and you just get more. Everyone's dreams do, Jeremy, because everything costs money. If you dream to travel, you need money. If you dream to be able to help people or house the homeless, you need money to do that. If you dream of being able to feed starving children, you need money to do that. No matter what you want to do in this society, what you want to actualize, whether it's altruistic or selfish, you need money to do it. That's just a fact. Nico. Exactly. That's how it works. Bepis. The names you guys come up with are just not only are they hard to say, but they really bend the mind as to how their origins. Can we please get the like button up to a, having 44 people still here right now and the like button being at half that is just, it is a sad and sorry state of affairs. Let's go. Well, you have that option, Richie. If you want to simply waste away and, give your life to the void, you have that option too, and you can certainly take it. I don't know. Probably very simple things, because your thought patterns are very much influenced by your language. So depending on, how verbal they are, how large the vocabulary of their language that they're using is, that's going to shape how sophisticated their dreams are. It's quite possible their dreams are about just like water, clean water, the next meat kill that they have so they get to eat meat again, or the smile on the face of their woman or their baby when they come home with food. It can be very simple. The more simple the language and, the more simple the mind and its creations. Gotta get a girl that. Well, he can't. That's the thing. That's why what they're doing. That's why what their situation, it can't work, because he can't really do anything for her beyond the physical. And once that conquest part has played out enough, and there's offspring from it, there's nothing more he can do. And that's probably where it'll end, because he's going to want to be with someone where he's the man and he had, where he's empowered, and she's making him feel disempowered everywhere outside of the bedroom. And the power he's feeling in the bedroom isn't going to last forever. It'll only last probably past the second kid, if they get that far. She would need to be with like some, Arab prince or something in order for it to actually work out, where the power dynamic would be able to sustain itself. SB, I don't know, maybe if there were like 1920, that would be like, or not, what year did the TV get invented? Maybe it was like 1948, A TV in a red dress would be saying something. But right now, SB, I'm gonna need like some land, some property, and some gold. Thank you, Garth. Garth, I appreciate you so much. Garth, there's a new YouTube button that you got to add to that repertoire. You got to hit the hype button, HYPE. It's a new button that YouTube is debuting that allows you to give a stream or a video, you know, a little bit more virality and help it push. So when you hit the like button on those, also look for the hype button. You get to use the hype button 3 times a week. Use it all 3 times to push my content, Garth. Thank you. Don't go to that site. Become a member of my channel, and I'll give you wholesome content that will stimulate your imagination. Not simple-minded. When I say simple-minded, that's not a derogatory statement. I just mean simple as opposed to complex. In a lot of ways, one could say it's better to have a mind that is simple, because then you're not constantly thinking. Part of the problem with our, like, quote unquote evolved civilization and our language with thousands and thousands of words is that our minds can't stop churning. That's why I have guided meditation content on my channel, because of all of our language and all of our interaction and all of our access to information and facts and people and all that we're taking in. Our minds are constantly racing and doing all of this extraneous, you know, machinations that aren't necessarily helpful or productive. So we need to meditate just so we can get our minds back to the simple state that they probably have naturally, because they're not dealing with an internet. They're not constantly bombarded with, you know, the lives and happenings of the world and billions of people. Their minds are probably much more healthy than ours in a lot of ways. So when I say simple, I'm not saying that as an insult. I actually think it's probably a preferred state in a lot of ways. What do you mean? Okay, Kevin, you guys I hear a lot of degeneracy in the stream. Obviously, someone introduced someone to some sort of site to that, you know, caters to male degeneracy, that profits from your degeneracy. And I'm going to tell you, resist. SB, I'm not professional. Just someone's being articulate doesn't mean they're being professional. It's unfortunate that for a lot of people, they only associate using correct grammar and actually, you know, having complex thought or really trying to reason and understand the way the world works. They only see those things as things for the workplace. But that's what I call being awake and alive. So yeah. Trey, I didn't see you. Trey, when the stream is moving, it's hard to see you. Trey, solve it for me, Trey. Trey, turn green. Make your name green. I don't want to miss you, Trey. I want to be able to see you when you come in. Your name is supposed to be green, Trey, for this reason. 1 cup of tea a month is preventing your name from being green so that it stands out more, Trey. Hook it up. I'm sorry I missed you. I was just talking. I didn't see it. There's a lot of scrolling. Thank you, Garth. I mean, that's not to say I don't use slang. I do. But when someone asks me a question, I really try and give a real answer. So I use all my faculties to try and answer. I'm not going to slack on the answer. I'm really going to actually try to go into it. And some people associate actually like using your brain to solve a problem. They just think that's for work, when really that's for life. Like if you really figure things out, it'll solve you. You are Shanti. Well, that takes money. So that takes money. Pardesh Kumar. Hello, Pardesh. Pardesh and anyone else, rupees, dollars, whatever currency you're using, support my beautiful baby channel. Get into it. My provider men were here earlier. They've pieced out. And now I'm sort of left with people who are a little bit more tight-walleted. I don't know what y'all are waiting for. I've been asking important questions and giving you real, relevant answers. And instead of coming back and rewarding my channel with a little cute little super chat, I'm getting nothing. I do buy McChicken. What are you talking about, SB? What are you talking about? All right. On this note, what? Okay, so two men. So are you guys a couple? Are you guys heterosexual? Both, Shanti. I can do. You can use the time for whatever topic you want to talk about. We could talk about dating. We could talk about relationships. We could talk about fitness. We can talk about goal setting. We can talk about your professional career. You like women, okay? Well, I didn't know. It sounded like you two, you and Sean were like maybe gonna open some bed and breakfast together. So I was like, oh, okay. I get all types of guys in my stream. You never know. You never know. So yeah, get into the calls. Book a call. Actually, let me put my call. If anyone wants to book a call with me, let's do that. You can book a call. Yeah. Wait, where is that? I have all my links. So I should have been dropping my links like bombs into the stream. So here we go. Where we and if you wait, okay. Okay, here's the audio calls because I think the video calls might be a little pricey for some of you, given that you're not even super chatting. So here's the audio call link. They're affordable. Wow, Kevin, you were really raised well. I'm sure all the women in your family would be delighted to know that that's what you have to say to a stranger on the internet. Nice work, sir. Nice work. Wow. La 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 la. So there we go. And yes, book an audio call. We can talk about things. And one of the, this stream was all about crashing out, and I want to be there for you so that you don't crash out, so that you are able to, get what you want in this world and navigate it. And as times become more trying and more difficult, I think it's going to be important to have someone who's a sounding board and who can be a cheerleader for you. And so I'm performing that service. And I may start doing, custom ASMRs as well. Who knows? I'm getting requests for those. So I may add that as another thing you can purchase on the channel. You just want a family. Okay, but that is a big thing, because to want a family means you want to bring innocent life into this society. And I would say examine that and question that. And that is something I don't think you can do unless you are extremely wealthy. Because if you're trying to bring children into the society and then have them be workers, really give that a hard look. Really question the wisdom of that. Yes, Garth, thank you. Oh, Spicy. Spicy, you are showing us all that you are not a gentleman. And that's fine, but when you're in my stream, I need you to be one or your comments will be removed. So try again. Try again, sir. Try again. I'm on the weed. All right. Yes, but there's a difference between working for yourself and basically, being beholden to a boss or an employer. That's a very different dynamic. And so I don't think it's conscionable to bring someone into the society to be a worker in that latter sense. Thank you, Garth. I'm glad you appreciate the stream. Hopefully I'll get a channel membership out of you one day, Garth. Hopefully. Yeah. I always try to leave it a good mark, but I don't know. I'm like trying to decide. I usually leave it either 60 or 75 or 90. I've passed the 75-minute mark. So to go to the 90-minute mark would be 11 more minutes. Okay. I'm going to go to the 90-minute mark. So I'm going to go 11 more minutes. Okay. No, I do not, Jeremy. I do not want kids. I don't believe that this society is fit for kids. When I look at this society and I see how it's very pedophilic, I see that it's very misogynistic, I see that the social framework is kind of falling apart and it's being really polarized into extreme wealth and extreme poverty. I don't like that. All of the living systems on the planet are dying. We've completely, destroyed the natural environment because of our greed and pollution. So it's not a good time to be um, giving new life to this planet. This is like inviting someone to the party after the cops showed up. Earth is kind of like it's in dire straits. This isn't a time for new people. It just isn't. That's my take on it. Obviously, that's my own personal assessment. Everyone has to run the numbers and do the math and figure out what makes sense for them and their conscience, but I just don't think it's right. And when I see what's happening with technology and how we're basically moving towards like a surveillance or police state, I don't want to bring anyone into that. I just don't think it's wise. I would not subject a young innocent life to this society. It's just too corrupt, and it's I don't see it improving. So why would I bring children into that? This world is no place for children. I'm barely able to navigate it on my own. I don't think I could shepherd anyone through it effectively, given all the new challenges that are on the horizon. I don't think it's wise. As a woman, my mind and body say this is not a time and place to be procreating. Yeah, I mean, everyone, it's a personal choice, and I respect everyone's decision. We all have different perspectives. I don't expect everyone to agree with me, you know, but I know what's right for me. So I'm telling you my rationale and what's right for me. And someone else might have a very different perspective and be in a very different position. So there's that. Yeah, well, you can share your wisdom with the children that are already here. You don't need to create any more. I don't really think, I don't feel the need to do that at all. La 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 la. It is in the sense that SB, most men, and I'm not saying this with judgment, most men are unable to see women as actual people. They can only see us as objects to be used for sexual gratification, for services, whether those services be meal preparation or domestic duties, or, to make you look like a solid citizen in public, whatever it is, they just see women as services, sex and services, not as actual sentient beings that are capable of the same kind of reason and breadth of understanding that men have. World. Okay, perhaps, I don't know. Also, as a woman, you bear, it's a very different choice for a woman than a man. You have to put your body and your little life on the line for it. It's not just a good time. It is, you have to be willing to risk your life, and that's part of it for a woman. You have to be able to risk your life and irrevocable changes to your body and your health. I'm not willing to take those risks. Also, we are seeing some very disturbing things with people that are born, in terms of so many of them being born autistic. I'm not willing to deal with a special needs situation. I know that that's beyond me. So I'm not, there's literally thousands of reasons why I'm not doing it. What's up, Swag Gamer 69? Yeah. All right. And we've got, a juicy 7 more minutes left. That's plenty of time for you to run up the numbers on this like button. Let's run it up, run it up, run it up. Show me what you can do to that like button. Impregnate that like button. Try that. Run it up. That's no one's beeswag, Swag Gamer. No, I just don't say it because it's a data point that can be used for nefarious purposes, so I don't say it. And also, no one ever asks men. They only ask women. And they never do anything, I think, positive with the information. People just want to use it to judge you or to try and value you in some way, because our society has a very twisted idea of age and worth. So I just don't go down that road. I invite everyone to make me whatever age you want me to be. I'll be whatever age you want me to be. If your gift is monetary, I will accept any and all monetary gifts. Go for it, Dr. CP. Go right ahead and get on into that Cash App, PayPal, Super Chat, Super Sticker, or Super Thanks. Do your thing. Well, we were talking about the future of the world, and someone asked me if I'm child free, and someone asked me if I ever wanted them, and I said no. And they were trying to tell me that I would be, good at parenting, and I was giving them a list of reasons why I have no interest in it and never will have an interest in it. So I was being a little funny when I said impregnate the like button, but it worked. Okay, it got 4 more. And also, I find that with men, and at this hour, that's mostly who's here right now. When I say things like, show the like button who's boss, or impregnate the like button, or put your smack down on the like button, or give a good hard, high five to the like button. Things like that work with you guys. It taps into some deep part of your psyche. You guys want to impregnate everything. So impregnate my like button. La 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 la. You're not adding me on LinkedIn. That's a completely different, separate well. That is for people who I deal with professionally. And this is not a professional arrangement. Thank you, Danny. Appreciate you. Thank you. La 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 la. We've got 4 more minutes left, boys. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Get it up, get it up, get it up. Get the like button up. You see what I'm doing there with the words? Guys, the like button is looking a little flaccid. Could you help get it up? Could you help get the like button up? Oh boy. I'm guessing Dr. CP, I'm guessing he's like 14, because if this is an actual adult male, wow, he needs so much therapy. I really hope you're 14, Dr. CP. Otherwise, there's no hope. That invite's gonna get rejected, Jeremy. Very, very high probability of rejection, Jeremy. Really? Well, Richie, I'm glad you gave me your full watch time. I'll take more of that. If you can't donate to the channel, then at least hit the like button. At least hit the like button, give your full watch time, and by all means, on the playback, hit the hype button. So you want to redeem yourself? You want to redeem yourself? If you wanted to change Dr. CP in your past 14, you would have done it already. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong and start acting like a gentleman. Prove me wrong. Game bread, I do not. I have something even better. Something better for you and something much more satisfying in the long run. My YouTube channel memberships have private videos that are made for the male gaze. So Game bread, go on ahead and become a member of my channel, and you will get access to all of my bikini beach, my thong bikini beach live streams, and all my cute little bouncing around and yoga videos. So what we can do is we can give you the link to that. It'll satisfy that thirst without frying out your brain's reward centers like OF does. It won't put you in that same, fried out dopamine addiction loop that OF does. It'll just titillate you a little bit, keep you satisfied and coming back for more, while encouraging you to use your imagination. So let me help you out. Let me give you what you need. You can satisfy your thirst without damaging your brain by becoming a channel member here. There's plenty of juicy, delicious content there for you, and I'm adding to it all the time. So I'm just about to drop that link here for you, Mr. Bread. There you go. There you go, Senior Bread. That one's for you and anyone else who wants to get into my private videos. There's a secret menu on this channel, and that is available via the private videos. Get into it. What are you saying wow for, TK? La 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 la. Loo 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 loo. Okay, here's what I need. Let's at least get the like button to 30. I got 30 seconds. Can we get 2 more likes? Let's get 2 more likes. Maybe I'll get them on the playback. I'm peacing out. Uh, you are a man, Jeremy. You're a man. A man shouldn't be asking for a woman for help in a professional realm. Ask other men to help you. Ask other men. I'm a lady. I'm in my feminine energy. I'm resting in my feminine energy. And I'm here for providers. Only, only. Good night, gentlemen. See you next time. Bye bye. Good night, stream team.